We are now 5 wide. Presented by Quick Trip's Quality Gasoline Guarantee. It's just another way Quick Trip has you covered.
Oh, we go 5 wide here. Brian Noe in for Zabe. Brian Butch, Josh Albrecht. We've got Kuhn. We've got Billy. We've got Armin. We got shenanigans going on here. Not exactly the most uplifting off-air chat right before this.
I would concur with that.
But we go right into non-heavy stuff over here. What's on your mind over there, Armin? You got that look of, take the Brewers over. I don't know if I'm misreading that.
Yeah.
No, honestly,
everybody is just shaking after that.
Before we start with the fun and games, it's a lot of times we think we got problems, and we don't. When you have perspective, you realize we don't really have the problems you think you have, and there's a lot of things to be thankful for, and a lot of things to be. Not everyone's in the world in the same state of.
You're going to really
happiness.
confuse a lot of people if you don't give them. Some
No, just we're talking about the tragedies in Maui and in the fires and stuff. It's just a lot of people go through stuff that you think you go through something, or you have something to be nervous about, or some sort of problem in your life it pales in comparison to what other people are dealing with. I think that's the only thing. Now, as for so we're thinking about everybody. As for the Brewers over, you got to play the reverse lock on that. You absolutely have to play. So every time you think like I went to the game and everyone took the over. Now, the funny thing is the over actually did hit in that game.
It hit.
I didn't want it to hit because it was 3-3 going into the 10th, in the 9th and the 10th, and the Brewers were, it was 8.5, and the Brewers were hopefully going to win that game 4-3. That means the Brewers would have won and the over would not have hit, which I would have been perfectly happy with, but that didn't happen. But the important thing is David Ross chose to bunt last night, and the Brewers gained the game. Just a reminder for all you bunters out there.
There we go. Thanks, Armin.
So that's my take on the whole thing.
All right.
I like that
and everybody just changed the channel.
So I'm sorry it wasn't good enough. I just gave my best shot at it. One of you guys want to go at it? Go try, John.
I thought you were going to throw out there. Well, I mean, hey, you didn't get set up. I wouldn't say you got set up.
Now it's
all right.
Oh, now it's Noah's fault. Now it's Noah's fault.
Yeah.
We're just throwing straight. No, you didn't set him up. Armin, you didn't execute it. You're right. Coon's on the sidelines for the package practice, and he's
Have a
the
good
floor
show,
over here.
guys.
You
Yeah.
suck.
Hey,
Bad play call. Bad execution.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like to cue Vince Lombardi on the sideline. What the hell's going on around here? I mean, what are we doing?
Brian asked for my
drinking
feelings.
orange juice, eating a bagel.
Guy spends
Armin
one
is-
day in Cincinnati.
I don't know.
Throws Armin under the bus.
Armin did
Sure,
what?
that
John?
bus. How did it feel,
Armin, what were we gonna say, John? Armin did. I gave my opinion.
I didn't throw.
We're
I didn't
proud of
throw.
you,
him.
Armin.
To be honest with you, Armin, I didn't see a lick of the game last night. I didn't see a lick of it. I
Oh,
saw
it's all right.
the Brewers in 10 innings get that 1-run win or whatever. It's okay. Hey, here you go. What are you going to do? Complain about this thing? 10 innings. The Brewers went with the Rockies. Do you feel good about this series? Do you feel good about it?
Well, they won the
That's
series.
question.
Yeah, any series they win, I feel good about.
I wish they would have swept, but I'm taking the series win.
Can I say
Especially the way
something,
that it could have unfolded, where they very much could have given that game away, which would have been an absolute heartbreaker.
Right.
The way that you go and snatch it away. Willie Adames comes back, hits a home run in his first game after the little hiatus, ties the game. Monasterio,
Yeah.
if anybody had that as your clutch back going into 2023, that's cashing like one of those $20,000 wagers Phil Mickelson was throwing on a 5-leg NBA parlay.
What is it?
has
So
a
he
vision.
That
he
is
gambled
nuts.
$1 billion over 3 decades, lost $100 million, tried to gamble on the 2012 Ryder Cup.
The breakdown is unbelievable. Golf Digest has just like a full rundown of what he was ripping off. Like at least 1,000 bets where now we throw the minus 110 on there. Yeah. So 110,000 to win 100,000, couple at 200,000 Butchie. But my favorite is my man is just going out here with Calvin Ridley 5 or 8 team parlays, throwing 5 figures on it, saying, hey man, let's see if this gets me up out of the issues here. $400,000 on 2 different offshore accounts.
I wonder if he needed Brewers over right now.
Couple.
I know, right?
The bad part about this is we played some Phil and Bryson DeChambeau sound earlier in the week, and it gives you different vibes now. Yeah, I mean, if Phil's betting that much money, he's clearly got a gambling addiction.
Oh, God.
I would think so.
Obsession.
We already knew this somewhat, but we laughed and giggled at him and Bryson on the first tee before in their practice round. And now you come to think of it and you're like, man, this guy still is not fixed. He bet $1 billion and this man's still not fixed. I mean, how can you possibly be doing these types of things and still be going strong? Oh, well, you got the Live Tour.
Got to get some sweet action, baby. Got to get some action. What
He's
are we
in
out
there.
here for?
Well,
We're not
if he's
working.
only out 100 million. I mean, he's only lost 10%. That's not horrible.
That's what I'm saying. Is the bankroll, he has to even risk
Helping you out.
this amount.
Like,
Wild.
10% loss. Okay, you can do that. Okay.
That's the crazy thing about it. And the amount of bets he was making per day, Billy, what was it, like 9 bets a day?
Oh,
on
yeah, at
average?
least 9 bets a day through like 2012 or something
He
like that.
needed action 24 hours a day. That's just what it was.
One day he made 43 bets on baseball. In one day, 43 bets.
That's
And
a
that's
lot for
before the
baseball.
player props too. Like that's the
I don't
impressive
even know how you
part. I mean,
do
he's
that.
saying how
I
many
don't even know
different
how you
games
really love
together in
gambling.
parlays. He wasn't getting strikeout props
five and a
yeah,
half,
5
no.
inning unders.
Five-
Goodness gracious.
Which
I
is
mean, he was
playing-
in on every game. I think 5 under here, 5 inning over here. I'll take the end of the game.
Could you imagine being the bookkeep too? As like he wasn't at the book, so
No.
somebody wasn't sitting there at the teller window being like,
Taking his bets, yeah.
"All right, well, I guess I'm sitting here with this guy for 3
Oh.
hours while I wait here." Okay, all right. Get
Yeah.
a callus because I'm continually pressing how many different keys to cash you in for $100,000 bet. Wild day for Phil. But you know what?
Glad-
T's and
Hey,
P's. Let's get
Blake,
better.
Blake
Yeah, I'm just
Perkins
glad he
to hit
wasn't
2
using
homers.
a real bookie where the bookie had his notebook and had to actually write it down.
Right, yeah, he wasn't talking to Johnny Skins behind the dumpster, making sure that he had to keep tracking his phone the whole time.
He might have been doing that too. You don't know.
Under.
He might have had a few of those.
Have you ever had a Johnny Skins?
That's a great
Have you ever had
nickname.
a bookie?
Have?
Have?
Have.
Well, I
You
don't.
have?
I go to Potawatomi Sportsbook, but that's me.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ah, boy, Armin.
That's where I go for my. But I mean, some of these guys in this virtual room might have had or have one. I don't know. If
Who are you
some-
talking about?
I don't know, Billy.
I
I
was
don't
don't
know.
talk about
there's a
Josh
straight
that way,
look
dude.
at
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
wearing
Oh,
a
you know me.
Wisconsin State Fair shirt. There is a straight look.
Yeah.
Butch,
What do
did
you
you
mean?
bet the pig
I'm
races?
rocking my Iron Jack. I did.
It is beyond a walk of shame. If you lose on your sportsbook app of choice, it's no big deal.
Mhm.
If you have to meet at a random location to pay the bookie the money you have lost, the worst.
Yeah,
Sounds
like you have some experience with this.
You
Brian.
must have had
That's
one,
true.
Brian. But I'm not
I-
going to
I-
ask that question.
I had a bookie in New York
No,
because
statute
it
of
wasn't
limitations
legal
are
at the
up.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'll give you my bookie story. So I had to do the walk of shame payment from time to time, and it's the worst. You want to look at them and give them the whole breakdown of like the Ravens were that close, man. I don't know what happened.
justifying why you're handing this envelope over.
You could care less.
You
wouldn't care
understood
at
why I
all.
made. You understood
Yeah.
why I picked them, though, right? You
Right.
understood why I picked
Yeah.
them.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
All right, here's my
shoulda
story.
hit.
Here's my
It shoulda
excuse.
hit. Yeah.
What was his name?
The
Mike.
guy with the dumpsters. Yeah.
What was the
But
guy?
by the way,
What
thanks
was
for
the
the
bookie in Seinfeld? Mike Moffat. What was his name? Mike Moffat.
Seinfeld reference. That's the original one. Yeah.
I was up $2,050. And this guy, I was doing a radio event. He's like, I'm good for it. I'll pay you. We'll meet up. I'm like, okay. He goes to this bar and he's like, hey, here's 500. I'm like, 500? What's up? He's like, I'm good for the rest. Never heard from the guy again.
Oh boy.
Dropped off the face of the earth.
Oh man,
Still owes me $1,550.
we're gonna find that guy.
That's why you're
Maybe he's in
homeless.
Peoria,
Good,
Illinois
do
now.
this. That's what I want to hear.
That's what I want to hear. I'm interested in that.
That guy's
Now that's why
definitely dead.
Venmo has become such an interesting and useful habit and app to come on through, because otherwise you can go and hang out at the golf course, which doesn't make it nearly as fun, John. Like after you're winning money on the golf course, cash into the hand
Oh,
makes
I
it feel a lot better.
Yeah.
I hear people
I
say
agree.
that. I mean, we're at a digital age now. If you win in golf, if you win in gambling, if you win in anything, and they hit your Venmo, you need the cash money. I mean,
I'm
I can't tell
completely
you,
with Billy on this one, man.
I can't tell you
Feels
the
better.
last time I
Yeah.
paid for something in cash. So why do you have to receive it in cash?
It just
Oh, it was
feels
great.
way
Yeah.
better.
Feels way better.
The
Yep.
act of them extending their arm with their hand in cash and placing it in yours, a totally different
I have to
feel.
agree. And this is on the flip side of it. It's easier to spend money when you know it's just a number on an app. or a credit
Well,
card.
that is very true.
You know
And
what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why Brian was exactly right when he talked about that this digital age, if you lose a certain amount of money on the sportsbook app of choice, you're like, oh, okay.
It's just a number on a
That's
screen.
really not that
Let's
bad.
throw
Yeah,
some
right.
more on there.
It's not nearly as bad. All right, 3 figures isn't nearly as okay.
Yeah, but if
that's
you're
not
like,
nearly
all
as
right,
bad.
where Target parking lot 3?
Got it.
Okay,
Okay.
cool. Yeah.
Target,
Awesome.
Shopko.
The Target parking lot was your meeting joint.
No, it wasn't. I'm just saying.
I know my wife doesn't walk out of Target without spending $300 anyway. So Target, I know I'm already gonna lose money.
When she's walking in there with 500.
I'm
Wait a
already
minute.
down 300 just going to the parking lot.
Target,
Now
but
I
just
got
like,
it down. Gonna be down double.
Butch
Does
lost
she
5
listen
bets.
at 8:30 but not 9:12?
Yeah,
Is
9:12. She doesn't listen.
Oh, you're good.
Shuts
Okay.
up.
8:30. I love my wife. 9:12. Man, that Target
See?
bill is expensive.
Oh, well, now you guys are second guessing all those tracker apps, I bet, huh? Honey, why were you at the Target parking lot again? Oh, I'm picking up the stuff you need me to pick up.
No, I
Yeah.
see that on the credit card statement.
Oh.
Yeah, why do you go to the Target parking lot every Monday at 4? What's that about?
That's when the
nothing.
sales come out.
Yeah, they released the new candles.
Picking up cereal.
They released the new can.
Put all those new $1, $2 things into the front,
Dude,
front
those are
bucket
sucking
that you
bets more
know
than
you're
ever.
touching, and you know you're getting on in there figuring out something to buy. And
You're
how,
not
when are
out
we
of there
going to use
without
these
spending
portable
20.
fans? Never.
It's
But that's fine.
It's
Yeah,
a $20 Target spend with
Drop
a
it in
$1,
there.
$2, $3. It's all the kids' junk.
just a
They
drop
play
in
with
the
the
bucket.
darn thing 3 times and it breaks. And it's
Dad,
gonna
I need
crack.
this though. But I need this.
Yeah, they need it, man.
I need this one.
Billy, is that a new Wisconsin State Fair T-shirt or
It
an old
is.
one?
You better believe it. This is a new one. Jen Puente brought it on in for us 2 weeks ago when she was
Couple
on
weeks
in
ago.
here.
Yep.
Filling us in about the Wisconsin State Fair. But I'm glad you asked, Brian. Thank you very much. I'm rocking it today
What's
because
happening Billy?
today I'm going to go to the Wisconsin State Fair.
Oh, yes.
And I'm going to be at the amphitheater.
Okay.
And for the second consecutive year, I'm going to walk in and win the celebrity cream puff eating competition.
Oh, all right, let's get it.
What is
better.
your walk-up music? Do you have walk-up music? Is it
No,
Eye
I
of
don't
the
think
Tiger? Is it
The
Jock
champ is
Jams?
here.
Oh,
Yeah,
the champ
the
is
champ
here.
is here.
Yeah, we
That's
just
good.
let
good
that
one.
introduction walk on through as I hoist the trophy high above my head and then walk on in, slam it right next to Dario Melendez.
Let's go.
And say, this is you'll never get this. You'll never get this
I
until
love
one
Borat.
day he get this because he got that the first year.
Yeah,
he
he
beat
did.
me
He
the
did.
first year. So now that it's been in my possession, I will not relinquish.
Are you worried about Dario cheating? Because I am.
Not really.
He's had a year to scam's not the right word. He's had a year to think about this. He's had a year to find a way to cheat. Like
There's too many eyes on him, though. I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, and he brings his own camera crew. So
Right,
like
that's what I'm saying.
He'd be telling on himself
But-
if he
Okay.
does that one.
Billy, you know who was in his corner the year he won? Me.
See, it's the corner man that does
You know
it.
who was in your corner the year you won?
Oh,
Right.
so Josh is
Me.
2 for 2.
Whose
Josh
corner
is
are you
secret.
in this year?
My boy Billy. I'll be back there for him.
You going for a three-peat
I bet. Yeah. Look.
as the Paul Heyman of cream
That's what I
puff
was
eating
saying.
contest?
Yeah,
Is this 11? Is this 11 o'clock? Is that time? 11 o'clock.
11
Is that
o'clock
correct?
today.
Oh
Yes,
my
11
goodness,
o'clock
I'm so
today at the
nervous.
amphitheater.
Josh is the
that's what
bad
I'm
effort.
curious to see. Is who Dario brings to be the guy in his corner this year. Because last year he didn't have anyone. I think he regrets it.
Photog
Yeah,
at
and-
WIS 1012.
And again, I'm not winning it last year unless I get that final push of encouragement from Josh to say, Billy, you're about to lose this bleeping thing.
I think I did swear actually.
Josh
You
is-
definitely swore.
I was-
I smacked a
I
cream
was
puff and
really
a half
into
in
it.
like 30 seconds, and then we ended up winning. I won by a half a shell. So it's going to be an impressive day. It's going to be a great day. And it's a great day to be great and to become a 2-time cream puff eating champion.
Great.
What would
It'll be
you
great.
do if they brought in a ringer like Joey Chestnut and you're just like, oh,
He'd beat him.
See, now, Brian, you're right in line with all the kids yesterday at Arrowhead football practice who said, Coach, but what if they bring in Joey Chestnut? Well, guess what, guys? I'm gonna shoot out a guess that his price is a little bit higher than us here at 97.3 the game. So I think I'm good. But if they do, I'm going to lose. And then I'm just going to be able to celebrate and then hopefully take a picture with them.
That's like telling your players, what if I brought Kenny Clark in to try and drive block you
Yeah.
guys? That's the same thing. But
You guys want me to bring in AJ Dillon? See if
Exact-
you guys can tackle him next week?
it's not going to happen.
We
See
So
if that works. Yeah, it's not going to happen.
the
I
thing
didn't
is,
say that. I would've should've.
and there's no shame in losing to Chestnut. It takes all the pressure off. Nobody expects you to lose to Chestnut.
Yeah,
That's
are you
like-
feeling a little pressure today right now?
It's like the-
did you wake up feeling a little different? Because you are the reigning champ. Like that changes things.
It does, Butchie, and I'm not gonna lie. I did get a little bit of that loving endorsement earlier today of, well, what happens if you lose?
Oh,
Don't think that way. There's
I
nothing.
ask why we're talking like that. We can't be having.
All
that
I want to
today.
know is, are you at 100%? Because you came in here the other day, you were limping. I was
Oh
a
yeah,
little worried about
and I'll
that.
have my copper fit sleeve on, so
Okay.
we'll be ready to go. The ankle will not be an issue. The
All right,
swelling is down. We iced, had some heat earlier on today, so we'll be loose. We'll be
We
ready
need
to
more.
go.
We need championships. We need trophies and banners. Let's keep it coming.
you are like the Green Bay Packers. Expectations, they're high.
They're hot,
Doesn't
baby.
matter. You got to finish it.
They should be low this year.
Oh,
I heard you dropping facts on people this morning, Brian. No, I could just feel the heat radiating from the text line this morning.
Well,
Oh,
it was. It was.
That's a great way to earn friendship when you throw out reality. You know, it's great.
People don't like to live there.
Oh,
People
boy,
don't like to live in reality.
What
no
about
way.
that? What about that pass I saw yesterday on Twitter all over the place?
No NFL quarterbacks ever made that throw.
Well, I saw it.
Well, that's what they say on Hard Knocks.
Ever made that throw.
Good
Brian,
pass.
that's not the same throw.
That's
I'm
what they.
sorry.
Well, that's
not
what
the
they
same
say on
throw.
Hard Knocks.
Hey, did you check out the Crows versus Eagles speech from Robert Saleh? Did you check that out?
Oh, I thought that
Did
was a
you not like
Canadian
that?
football.
I
over.
loved
Did
it.
you not like that?
By the way, Kuhn, who's been good at giving pregame? Well, not pregame, just speeches in general, and who was bad in your NFL experience? Anybody?
Gotta be
Mike
Coach
McCarthy.
Mike.
Mike McCarthy was on Hard Knocks a few years ago and had a mojo moment. Do we remember that?
Come on, Dak. Mojo moment. What a
No,
time for a
I
mojo
mean,
moment.
I don't want to portray that any different way. No, they all have hits.
Yeah.
And they all have misses. That's
Sure.
the honest to God's truth. Like any batter at the plate, they all have hits and they all have misses.
I get the Starbucks open at 5:30 in Green Bay. I get the Vinny Skinny Vanilla Latte, no foam.
No foam.
Because when you pay $5 for a cup of coffee and it's half foam, I got a problem with that.
It's an interesting Mike McCarthy impression.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm good with
Interesting
it.
Mike McCarthy
At least I
Neither
tried. Get the Skinny Vanilla Latte, no foam.
So what's coming up? What's the main
Started
thing coming
ordering.
up today? 9 to noon,
Well,
guys.
Billy's got Cream Puff Championship to win, so we got to push what does Billy know earlier into the 9 o'clock hour. Get your picks in, Nooners, on that. We'll talk with Matt Schneidman. We'll talk Packers practice yesterday. He was on the offensive side. I was on the defensive side. We'll compare notes and see what we think the Packers, if they played a game yesterday, how they would have fared.
Love it. 9 to noon coming up. Keep it locked right here on the game.
Do it when we